Hi, this is Gina. I'm here with some more of my Elvis books. I'll start off with some of the small paperbacks that I didn't include in my last video about books. This paperback is Follow That Dream, based on the original book called Pioneer Go Home. So, yeah, it's pretty much how Elvis did it, I think, and I'm not quite sure if the original book was the same as this book, but anyway, it was published in 1962. There's no photos, it's just the story of the film. The next one is A Stone for Danny Fisher by Harold Robbins, which King Creole was based on. And this doesn't mention King Creole. It's pretty much the original story by Harold Robbins, and it's a lot of the same characters are in it, Ronnie and Maxie and so on. It's just told in the first person, so it's an interesting story. You read it and you can certainly pick up bits and pieces of King Creole. This one is called To Elvis with Love by Leonard Pitts. This was published in 1978, and this is a story of a disabled child that absolutely adored Elvis, and her carer discovered that, and they started writing to Elvis and ended up getting letters back from him. It's based on it is a true story, and there was a movie made, and I've got the video of that too. Haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure there'll be tissues on hand when I do. It's a lovely, lovely story. This is a more recent book, Careless Love, Peter Gurrell, or recent in my collection. I only got that about a couple of weeks ago, and I think I'm halfway through it, or a little bit less than halfway through it already. Good book. Photos. No, surprise. Oh, yeah, might be a few. Yeah, one or two. But good book, good story. And this one, a recent one, Still Taking Care of Business by Sonny West. And I've got to tell you, I read this book in one sitting, and I know there's a lot of bad feeling about him, but this is a beautiful, beautiful story. I really love this book. He talks about the book that they wrote, him and Red and Dave Hebler, and why they wrote it and so on. Again, it's very sad. It's the truth about the way things were with Elvis, his health and everything, but, you know, he doesn't... Sonny in this book, he really, really loves Elvis. He loved him all along, right from when they were kids and when they grow up. So, yeah, great book if you get a chance to read that. Now, some of the bigger ones. I'd forgotten about these. This book called Graceland. And really, I thought I'd got rid of it, but I hadn't. And it's all about Graceland. Fabulous book. It starts off with, it's mostly photos around the property. Let's see. Yeah, it is basically, and there's obviously a lot about Elvis and his family in it, but a lot of writing, but terrific photos of Elvis when he's young, Vernon and Gladys, more of Elvis and Tom Parker and so on. The Autumn Drive home, the original home, before they went to Graceland. Drinks on the patio. Yeah, look, it's really all sort of down home stuff. It's terrific, and when they first moved into Graceland and what it was like. But yeah, just gorgeous book. I'll try to flick through it. I don't want to be too long because I've got other books to show you. Horses, some babies' music. The wall, people writing on the wall. Some beautiful photos of the property itself, through the gates, wall, the dining room, the living room, various photos and art about Elvis, the music room, the staircase, the chandeliers. That's a mirrored staircase. His guitars all arranged along the stairs. Some early photos of him. The TV room. Wow, bright colours. More of the TV room. The bar and the TV room and the home jukebox. Jukebox again. The pool room with its beautiful drapes. more of the pool room with the lampshades. Really looks comfortable, doesn't it? Chairs look really comfortable. What's that? Doesn't say what it is, but anyway, all in the pool room. More in the pool room. The jungle room. Elvis and some of these fans. The waterfall, the indoor waterfall, the jungle room. Look at the old telephones. Gee, they're a blast from the past, aren't they? No mobile phones back then. Feathered mirror frame. There's a lot of photos of the jungle room. Elvis's office. Oh no, this was Vernon's office, I guess. The office, anyway. Yeah, I think this was Vernon. Where Vernon and his secretaries were from. Vernon Presley. No loafing in the office. Strictly for employees. Only if you have business here. Please take care of it and leave. I like that. Various bills, phones again, bits and pieces. The smokehouse. Okay. When Elvis was there, it was just utilised for storage. Firing range. Yeah, bits and pieces. Yeah, just junk storage space. The stables. This wasn't the circle. The ranch. This was on Graceland property. Fabulous photos. Okay, the trophy room. Wow. Yeah. Bigger and bigger and bigger. The timeline. It starts with a wall display of various pictures and documents tracing Elvis's early years, school diploma, Hume's high school class, the original house. Wow, gee, this would be fascinating. I know some of you who are looking at my videos have been there and seen that, but I've stood at the gates of Graceland, but I didn't go in. Elvis was home at the time, and that was back in 1973, so it wasn't open to the fans the way it is now. His gold suit, movie posters, army discharge, army uniform. There's those damn bubblegum cards that I used to have. Oh, I'm still annoyed about losing those. Some records. Hall of Gold. Okay, stretches for nearly 80 feet and is lined on both sides with gold and platinum records and many other awards presented to Elvis from all parts of the world. It's just wonderful, you know, that he and Vernon, I guess, kept all these awards from the most insignificant up to the most important. Isn't it sad that there's no Oscars there? Very sad. Maybe one day there will be, in honour of what he did. Video Platinum Award. Elvis was getting video awards in the 90s, and one shown here was for a documentary, The Elvis Presley Estate, made with the Disney Company. Buena Vista Home Video, which went platinum. It's interesting. I don't remember seeing that. See if I can find it. Telegram from Elvis and the Colonel to the Beatles. The big room. The big room houses by far the greatest number of items of Elvis memorabilia in the entire excuse me, the entire Graceland complex. As the visitor turns left at the end of the Hall of Gold, he comes to the first portion of the collection, which includes items from Elvis's Hollywood career, from scripts to front of house posters, civic awards from cities, counties and states, wedding clothes, scrapbooks sent by fans, paintings of Elvis. Oh my God, I think I'm going to have to try and save up and get over this. It's really worth seeing. But hey, I've got it in this book, so yeah. Didn't realise it was so much. More awards, plaques. A letter to Elvis from Richard Nixon. A pleasure to meet you in my office. And I want you to know once again how much I appreciate your thoughtfulness in giving me the commemorative World War II Colt 45 pistol encased in the handsome wooden chest. You were particularly kind to remember me with this impressive gift, as well as your family photographs, and I'm delighted to have them for my collection of special mementos. Isn't that nice? More photos. Yeah, fan scrapbooks. Wow. Fancy keeping those, eh? Oh, that portrait there, it's well known. Yeah, oh, not in the police badges. Wow. Who needs to go to Graceland? I'd forgotten how good this book is. Elvis's guns, or some of them anyway. Oh, telegrams between Tom Sarnoff and the Colonel regarding the Elvis Special. Tomback Specials. And then some of these costumes. Yep. And jewellery. Wow. More wow. Oh, God. Well, that's the gold belt from, yeah. Elvis World Championship Attendance Record, Las Vegas International Hotel. Yeah, he's very proud of that. What's this? The racquetball building. Okay. Not sure. Well, anyway, there's information about it, so, yep. Comfortable. RCA display. The meditation garden, which of course has more graves in it now since this was taken. Oh no, Gladys, Vernon, Elvis. Oh, Elvis is there, I beg your pardon. Yeah, no, this book must have been written after he died, okay. Stained glass windows. Strangest legend. Just a letter from somebody. That's something else. His pink Cadillac. Purple Cadillac. Wow. Cadillac Eldorado, 1956. Yeah. The Stutz Black Hawk. Haha. Elvis and his bikes. Anita Wood. And Yvonne Lime. Anita Wood, I think, and Yvonne Lime. Oh no, they're both Yvonne Lime. Sorry, yeah. No cars, Mercedes, Ferrari. I didn't know we had a Ferrari. Oh, gee whiz. Pink Willie's Jeep, golf carts. So we know about those, don't we? The Highway 51 drive-in movie. In the centre of the Automobile Museum. Okay. A little gas station. Oh, it's a display too. Sam Phillips Car Insurance. Motorcycle display again. Sincerely Elvis is the name of the exhibit located on the Graceland Visitors Plaza, a few doors down from the Automobile Museum. Gosh, it's huge, isn't it? You'd need a week to go through everything, really, to see the whole lot. Elvis and Ali. What's his name? No. Sorry. Yeah, Ali. Muhammad Ali, yeah. Little football team photos. Wow. Far right design sketches. Oh, did he ever wear that? I don't recall him wearing something like that. Oh, maybe he did. Aircraft. Okay, the planes. Inside the planes. It's all still there, I think, isn't it? The aircraft. Heartbreak Hotel. Oh, ephemera. Okay. Let's see. For some time after the road name changed from Highway 51 to Elvis Presley Boulevard, Elvis could not get used to the idea, especially when he heard crime reports on the radio, such as robbery on Elvis Presley. He'd say, "Man, they're going to think I'm doing that stuff." Oh, that's funny. I like that. Walk a mile in my shoes. Cinema Sound. Rockabilly Band. Yeah. So, absolutely beautiful book, and I'm so glad I didn't part with that when I was getting rid of some of my books. Okay, the next one I've got here is one of the Elvis Specials. These were put out by the Elvis Fan Club in England, who produced the Elvis Monthly magazine. And I had all these specials right from the very first one right up until the last one. All gone. Now, bear in mind I published, where are we? A long time ago. 1978. So there's no, they weren't glossy then, they were all sort of that matte paper finish. Lots of articles about different things, mostly by the fans, heaps of photos, crosswords, article about fan clubs, an article about a trip they were doing, the fan club was doing to America. Open letter to Elvis. Oh yeah, it's another fan thing. Photos. Most of the photos I've seen before, some of them are different, a bit different. Précis of all his movies, storyline and so on. Come down, here's an article written by my ex-husband Wayne about what we did in Australia, how the fan club started up in Melbourne. Another crossword, Elvis RCA catalogue, Vintage Elvis Club, that's another Elvis fan club, a write-up. These books, Elvis Monthly, were really terrific for supporting and publicising Elvis fan clubs all around the world. They didn't just concentrate on England, they concentrated on Elvis's fan club everywhere. Gave them a good wrap-up. Again, articles by fans. Elvis experience, yeah. Who was king of pop? Comparison between Elvis and the Beatles. Point system on most two-sided records. Elvis 50, Beatles 26. Most top 10 records, Elvis 38, Beatles 31. Most number 1 records, Elvis 20, Beatles 18. Most weeks at number 1, Elvis 80, Beatles 59. Elvis is still number 1 king. Yeah, interesting. The Business of Being Elvis Presley, and these were interviews done by, a lot of these are really well known now. Cliff Richard, Alvin Sardus, Gary Glitter, Dirk Bogart, Elton John, John Lennon. They all had something positive to say about Elvis in their time. Yeah, so actually 1978, it's funny, isn't it? Well, that was published the year after he died, but obviously publication had started before he died, so it's an interesting insight. Now, this book I just love. The LP cover. It's, well, I love the LP cover, of course. The book is about LP covers from around the world, or record covers. I think they're all LP covers. Could be some singles. And because, you know, well, we all know how they differ. I mean, that's on YouTube. There's a lot of YouTube channels where they're dedicated to the different record covers and productions around the world. Let's see if I can just... Oops, I don't want to close that, do I? Anyway, Paul Dowling wrote this book, and Wayne and I met him when we went over to, I think it was the year before we went to America in 1973 on a 3-month trip, and then we went again to see Elvis in 1976, and we're only there for a week or two, and I'm pretty sure it was that week when we went to visit Paul. A great guy, one of the hugest, most well-known Elvis fans. And he was right into bootleg sort of stuff too, and from what I can understand, he got into a bit of trouble with it from RCA and different companies, but anyway, he got over it. So, Good Rockin' Tonight. Okay, an EP from England, Good Rockin' Tonight, an LP from France. So he goes through, and he's got all these things, and he goes on in his in the writing up in the book, all the information about where he got them and who he got them from. So, yeah, fabulous. Anyway, no, most of us would never have seen, well, a lot of us would never have seen these records, especially Europe. Though the Europeans were very, French and the Portuguese and Italians were very innovative, I suppose you could say, when it comes to creating covers for his records. And the Japanese, of course, they did pretty well too. What's this one? Japan. Oh yeah, Japan. Japan doesn't look like Japanese writing. Oh, well, maybe it is. Brazil, England, Japan. Yeah, let me tender France. So, Australia. It's a teddy bear. The Australian EP. Okay, it's interesting. Denmark, Norway. United States, Chile, Italy. Love that. Japan. I think it's beautiful. Beautiful LP cover. I think Elvis, when he did Loving You, I think he was just... I think that was his handsomest phase when he was younger. When he's loving you. God, he was gorgeous. Yeah. LP cover United States, the gold suit. A date with Elvis. That's completely different, but Japanese from what we had in Australia. Oh, that's it. That's the date. That's the one we had in Australia. Yeah. Also the same as the American one, obviously. Yeah. Elvis's Golden Records. China. Wow. I didn't even know they produced Elvis's records in China. What do you know? To be allowed to. Okay, Elvis's Christmas albums. Again, a few different variations. More Christmas albums again. Variations. Oh, look, the Elvis Sales EP. I had that, and of course I haven't got it now. God. Ah, shit. Anyway, sorry. I just get mad at myself when I think of what I left behind. Ah, there we are. Elvis is back. Yeah, that was the one. That was the LP. Oh, I don't think I had that on it. Anyway. Whenever. That's an interesting concept in Denmark, isn't it? O Sole Mio, Now or Never, with like a drawing, and a sort of Elvis superimposed on a drawing. Different. King of the Whole Wide World. The LP, yeah, there's a mixture of LPs and EPs here, and singles. That one, yeah. Same as ours, that's the same as ours. When I say ours, I mean Australia. Even though I haven't got them on it, and that was the same as the Australian one. Yep, like that. And of course, we all know that. Getting away from myself here. This one's from Turkey, okay. I've got the books on a sort of a book stand. It's a little bit better than being flat on the table. Some of these books are so big, it's hard to get them all in. 1960s. Yeah, Paul's put them in sort of a chronological order, I think, here. Looks like my battery's going to run flat in a minute. Got 2 more books to go. Oh well, they might have to go on another video. But anyway, gives you an idea. Fantastic book. Well done, Paul, for producing that. Don't even know if it's still available. Could turn up, I suppose, on eBay or maybe even Amazon. But, oh, I love that. That's, you know, the Rocker Elvis, 1984. Yeah. Yep, so, yep. Really, really good book if you can get hold of it. So we've got a little bit of battery left. So I'll just have a go with these. Elvis live on tour 1954 to 77. Exclusive from the archives of the Elvis Presley estate. King on the Road. Oops. Again, a long time since I've looked at this. Contents 54 to 55, the Hillbilly Cat. 56, the Pelvis, I wish they wouldn't call him that. 57 to 61, King of Rock and Roll. 68 to 69, the Comeback. 70 to 77, Superstar. So it's yeah, again, chronological order. Photos of Elvis, descriptions of his concerts, dates. And so, oh gee, that's a young photo, isn't it? Yeah, wow. Not that. Yep. Oh, that's a bad bird. I shouldn't call him. He hated that, didn't he? Being called Elvis. Tickets. In that format. Elvis Presley show comes to town. Very early days, these ones. Oh, Elvis and Johnny Cash. That's an interesting picture. You can see that. So this book is a big one. See if I can hold it back so you can see it a bit better. Wow. Some of the descriptions. Yeah, it'd be interesting to know how many autographs he signed over the years. I read somewhere once that his autographs aren't worth much money-wise because he signed so many. There's just thousands, if not millions of them, and I suppose it got to the stage where nobody really knew whether it was an Elvis original or a fake. Excuse me. Here again. You know, it's fascinating to track his history, isn't it, from way back. I mean, looking at it from our perspective. I guess that was the good thing about the Baz Luhrmann movie. It went right back to the early days and the perspective of the time, the people who were shocked at his movements and his voice and what he's saying and what happened at his concerts. You know, I was showing that film to a friend at home. We were watching the DVD, and she said, "Did that really happen? Did all those people really run to the stage, and did they pull his clothes off?" I said, "Yep, absolutely. It all happened. Baz has got it down pretty much as it was." And I think that's probably why a lot of younger people now, after seeing that film, I thought, wow, having had a look at Elvis Presley and what he was all about, he wasn't just all about those girl, you know, boy chases girl, wins girl type movies. He was a lot more than that. And that's sort of coming out now, 40 to 50 years down the track after he died. I love knowing that I was part of those early days, well, to a degree. Born in 1948, I was 1956, I guess. Well, I was 8 years old. I wasn't part of it then. I was a bit too young. Only because my family weren't interested in Elvis. It was only when I got knowing some of the girls at school who's had older brothers and sisters who were into Elvis, and they started talking about Elvis at school and bringing photos in. By the time I was 12, I started to become interested in pop stars and stuff, even though my family still wasn't. my two older brothers and my parents weren't interested at all. But then again, Dad was pretty good. He bought me a record player and he let me buy records, and the ones that I wanted, and play them in my bedroom as long as I didn't play them too loud. Wow, beautiful, beautiful photo. This is a good book. Gosh, I forgot what great books there are around about Elvis. I wonder if anybody else has got these books. Yeah. Elvis was everywhere, but only by proxy. To see the real thing, you had to see the show. How true that was. I will never forget seeing him in person. God, how lucky, how lucky. Madison Square Garden. Aloha from Hawaii. Let's see if I can get hold of that on DVD. I haven't seen it since obviously it was on TV. Seen bits of it on YouTube, but I wouldn't mind watching the whole thing through again. It's fake. He did some funny things, didn't he? No character. And they were all the concerts he did. 1974. 1976, where are we? November. And there's ours. 1128, San Francisco Cow Palace. Yeah. Fabulous book. Absolutely fabulous book. And inside it, I had a newspaper article tucked in. I thought, what's this? I don't know what this is all about. And it was in Australian newspaper called The Australian, Friday, August the 15th, 1997. And it was by a journalist, Leonard Pitts. 20 years ago today, Elvis Presley died, and I didn't care. In those days, I was the associate editor of Soul, America's most soulful news magazine, a tabloid covering black entertainment. As far as I was concerned, Elvis Presley's death had nothing to do with me or my readers. He was irrelevant. And then the whole thing goes on about, various stuff. And he ends up saying, 20 years ago, Elvis died, and I thought it didn't matter. I was wrong. I'm glad I kept that article. Yeah. Anyway, it looks like I've still got a bit left on my camera, so I'll go to the last big book in my collection, the Elvis 68 Comeback. When I saw this advertised, I thought, wow, I've got to have this book, and it is wonderful. Expensive, wow, the photos are just divine. Oh my God, Elvis was divine, so all the photos are going to be divine, of course they are. But again, at the top, at his peak. Loving You in the 50s, and in the 60s, the Comeback Special. Absolutely terrific. And so it's the whole story of when they conceived the idea of having the special, when Colonel Parker wanted a Christmas special with singer-sewing machines, and how it evolved from the idea of Elvis just singing Christmas songs through to what Steve Binder originally did. And like I said, the photos, when I find them, a lot of writing, naturally. Photos are terrific. Look at that one. Isn't that beautiful? Wow. And there's better. Look at that. Oh, will be a beautiful man. I love you. There's the Colonel's office outside. Oh, God. The William Morris Agency interns in full Royal Guardsman uniform standing at attention outside the Colonel's broom closet office. Like, oh, look, isn't that... Wow, have a look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, God, he was gorgeous. And that. Oh, look. Like I said, this book is worth its weight in gold. Absolutely. Don't you love watching the fans, their faces? That's just funny. You look at some of the men and they're looking a bit bemused. The women are all, wow, and the men are going, Oops, move this over a bit. The tripods can fall over. Lucky fan, wow. Well, the battery's holding out on my camera, so with a bit of luck we'll get through this book. But if we don't, if it suddenly stops, well, you'll know why. Oh, lovely. Oh, I found some stuff on the internet online last night. I ordered a tote bag and with his face on. Beautiful photo. Something else. What else did I get? Face mask, yeah. COVID mask with Elvis on. Oh, and there was another T-shirt saying, "Yeah, I know I'm old, but I saw Elvis in concert." It's got a photo on it. Don't want to get that and wear it around. Show off. Looks like it's finished. Okay, all done. Is it finished or it's the camera's just on red, so it looks like it's just about dying off. So yeah. But anyway, so this book is recent enough that you can buy it if you want it, and it's well worth getting, absolutely. So I'll finish that off here and say goodbye. Hooroo.